For years, Test Drive Unlimited fans eagerly awaited the return of the open world franchise. With Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, expectations were set sky high. This was supposed to be the game that revived the legendary series and provided a fresh take on the open world racing game genre. However, almost 6 months later after its launch, the reality is grim. With only 183 players in the last 30 days on Steam, and mostly negative reviews, the game has seemingly crashed and burned. So, what exactly went wrong? Here are 5 major reasons why Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown failed to meet expectations. A racing game lives and dies by its performance and smooth gameplay. Unfortunately, Solar Crown launched with a plethora of game-breaking bugs, graphical glitches, and connectivity issues, with the latter being a vital one and hopefully a cautionary tale. The game servers at launch completely crashed, denying early access players who paid a premium to be there were denied access to the game. Others were even left out many days after. For a game that spent years in development, players expected a much more refined product. What they got instead felt unfinished, and hopefully this shows developers that online only simply does not work. Progression is a core aspect of any racing game. Players want to feel rewarded for their time spent grinding through races, unlocking new cars, and customizing their experience. I am a bit of a connoisseur when it comes to single player racing games. Hell, I'll enjoy the hell out of any single player title, as long as it's got a compelling storyline to go with it. Although many racers have a repetitive progression system, there usually is a good plot or objective that keeps you motivated to go for it. Solar Crown failed in this department by implementing an unnecessarily time-consuming and tedious progression system. Cars were very expensive, races were bland, the AI worked more on those later, not to mention many fan-favourite features such as delivery missions, free roaming drivers, and other open-world inspired side quests were all gone. Most players found themselves stuck in a frustrating loop, unable to earn enough in-game cash without excessive grinding. Instead of an enjoyable journey through the world of luxury cars, it became a chore. Test Drive Unlimited 2, in my opinion, had the same repetitive feel, which is something I wasn't hoping Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown to have the same as. However, Solar Crown is somehow a worse culprit of this. As in TTU 2, you have a larger map and again these side quests that you could progress through instead of doing a championship. Nothing ruins a racing game quite like poor AI behaviour. Solar Crown suffered from some of the worst rubber banding AI in recent memory, making races feel unfair and frustrating. Opponents would suddenly grind unnatural speed boosts, making it nearly impossible to establish a solid lead. Conversely, AI-controlled cars would sometimes slow down awkwardly, removing any sense of challenge. The lack of balance destroyed the immersion and made races feel more like a scripted event, rather than a competitive experience. Some players even resorted to cheating, which has since been patched, but only recently. A game can sometimes recover from a rough launch if the developers are quick to acknowledge and address issues. Unfortunately, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown did the opposite. The launch itself, as I mentioned earlier, was a total disaster, with the server problems being the big elephant in the room. And these server issues, among other major problems, remained in Solar Crown for quite some time. Instead of responding quickly and effectively, the developers seemed slow to react, leading to growing frustration within the community. Early access players were compensated, poorly in my opinion, with some credits and a Ferrari spec Porsche 911. Bear in mind these guys paid €100 for a game that didn't even let them in on day one. Some even lost all their progress due to the servers and poor handling to resolve issues quickly. As negative reviews piled up, the player base dwindled, making recovery even harder. The game's performance had a swift spike in December with the launch of the Ibiza map, but since then, this game has been completely left into purgatory. I haven't played the game since December. In fact, some of the footage you see is probably from earlier than that, although a good chunk of it, I promise you, has been recorded earlier today. So what are the chances of Solar Crown making a comeback? If you've watched my past videos, you know that I've been a big supporter of this game. I do believe in second chances and I am aware of the time it takes for things to develop. However, with the lengthy wait times, the constant delays, and ignorance towards major issues with the game, as well as taking away the basic fan favourite features and implementing online only, I think the chances of this game succeeding are extremely slim, which is awful because this is likely the last chance that we will get a Test Drive Unlimited game. Like TTU 2, there's a good chance that the developers could go down with it. It's a shame because with better support and refinement pre and post launch, and more honesty with the players as well as listening to their feedback, and with more details in relation to quality control, we could have had a much better racing game. Graphically, I don't think it looks that bad. Sure, the players don't look that good, but the cars look pretty decent. The handling is fine, and I think it's better than what other people make it out to be. Despite a few odd bumps here and there, I do really enjoy the Ibiza map, but with the lack of support from the players, I think these opening months have been a massive nail in the coffin for this game, and I don't really see it recovering anytime soon. So what do you think? Do you think that Test Drive Unlimited Solo Crown has the chance to come back, or will it be forgotten about and vanished into the history books? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe and share it to your friends. And as always, thank you so much for watching, hope to see you all very soon.